Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Circle City. Hope you guys are having a good day. Today we're going to be working on completing Tier 2 of Circle City, at least for now, unless in the future I decide to make more modifications and adjustments to it. But first off, I do want to talk about my bee farm because there's a couple of things that were going on here that I keep forgetting to tell you guys about. Um, First thing first is underneath the beehives when I originally built this, I had put blocks there. Turns out this was kind of a bad idea because a lot of the bees like to path into the hive by going underneath it. So what was happening is I kept getting bees that were stuck right here. And I went in a few times and I pushed them around, and then inevitably they would just come out and get stuck again. The other thing that just happened that really weirded me out is I was standing over here, waiting for my machine to go off, and I noticed a bee floating around, up in here, and I'm like, how did you get out? And so I looked, and see this block where there is no flower, was actually missing. Now I do know that my cart did get stuck down here at some point, halfway around, and so I had to come in and do something to push it and get it back on the powered rail. But that wouldn't have required me to break out any of these dirt blocks. So, what I think happened was I think an Enderman nicked it. Now, I had thought that I had placed all of those dirt blocks myself, which means that an Enderman shouldn't have been able to nick it, but I can't for the life of me figure out how else a grass block would just disappear by itself. But anyway, somehow the bee was able to make it back into his home, and I replaced the dirt block, and so now hopefully I'm not going to have any more problems. I mean, I'm not really worried about having, one more flower in there. But anyway, so hopefully I'm not going to have any more problems with this. Oh yeah, and just so you know, do every now and then, because these bee farms are notorious for just not collecting everything, I do get some honeycomb that flies out the side here now and then. I'm not too worried about missing one honeycomb every now and then because I really have enough. All right, so let's go on up and start finishing tier 2. All right, so up here on tier 2, I did all of this stuff quite a while ago, but I had left these big gaping holes. And it was never my intention to leave these giant big gaping holes on the side of tier 2. I just had a lot of trouble trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to do with them. So I went back and forth, tried a whole bunch of different sorts of things, and was never happy with anything. And I finally came up with something that I can live with. So we're going to do that. So starting off, what we're going to be using is gold ore, light blue glazed terracotta, a little bit of cobbled deep slate, some gray glazed terracotta, and a little bit more deep slate tiles. And I'm a little bit annoyed right now because I did take 2 screenshots of this, and one of them has failed to download to the Xbox app currently, but I do have this one, so we will just start here. We're going to start off with gold ore, and I know this might seem kind of a weird choice, but I was really wanting a block that had some yellow in it, but that wasn't super overpowering. And that's really kind of a hard block to come up with, because most of the yellows are super duper bright. But so I'm not really using my gold ore for too much of anything. I think it's okay to go ahead and you know, use some of it for decorations. Oh, if I could reach this. So we're just gonna put like one block of this on the bottom of all of the existing cobblestone. And then under those, we're gonna put a little bit of our light blue glazed terracotta. I have to decide what direction I want this to go. I think I want it the other way. Oh, first off, let's get my fortune pickaxe off my hotbar. Just in case I misplace gold. Really wouldn't want to, you know, make that mistake. Did that just like place the exact same way, even though I went different? Yeah, so that's the direction that I wanted on that side. I just have to figure out how to get that to go on the other side. If I do it on this side, nope. Man, don't tell me like I'm gonna have to. I should have brought some temp blocks with me. I just thought that there was only like 2 directions, and so it wouldn't matter. But now I can see I'm just gonna have an awful time getting this to go the way that I want it to. Let's try around the back side. Yeah, that's like the worst thing about terracotta is just trying to figure out where you have to be. Oh, I'm just gonna fail all over the place. Yeah, give me a few minutes to figure this one out. And I'm probably gonna go down and like sleep in my bed and get some temp blocks. Because I honestly don't remember the last time that I slept. I don't know if it was recently or like, you know, 9 days ago. Okay, so if I am to guess, I probably have to turn it and place it against this guy. Yes, okay. So that's gonna work. And then what would have been nice is if I would have actually put the amount over here that I wanted to. So that's supposed to be like 2 down. Alright, so that's looking good. And now we can switch over to our gray terracotta, gray glazed terracotta. And I don't know, man, kind of, I don't know which way I wanted to face these. I guess that way will be fine. Yeah, so we're just gonna put some of these underneath the light blue. And will they go the same way? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, just matchy. Yeah, right under and next to. And then I'm probably gonna have to, you know, have fun with my dirt again here in a second. Alright, so only slightly more irritating to install than I had originally planned, but I think it'll be just fine. We're just gonna put one piece of cobbled deep slate on the bottom of all of this. Man, why can't I reach? It's like real life. I have super short arms. Alright. Then this one I actually had 2 underneath as opposed to 1. Okay. Let me get rid of this because that's going to get stuck back there. And then the rest of this we're just going to fill in with just a straight up deep slate tile. I had tried using like walls, but it just got like kind of complicated on the backside, like trying to use walls for a little bit of depth. And so I just said, you know what? I don't care. We're just gonna go solid block here. Yeah, so let me sleep real quick so you can see it in daylight. Okay, so there we have it. Our first hole is filled in, and I kind of wanted to give it like a sort of a gradient effect, it coming down, which is why I went with the gray terracotta. It wasn't necessarily because, you know, I love the pattern on it or anything. It was just that from standing back, it kind of blends it down a little bit, and I do kind of like that. Well, so next up I want to move on to the big hole, and for some reason my screenshot of this still isn't uploading to my Xbox app, which is very irritating to me. So I think that it is best that instead of me just like winging this and messing everything up, that I go back and make a quick little drawing of it so that I make sure I have everything placed the way that I want to. So we'll take a minute and do that. Okay, so I kind of thought I was going to be alone all day. It turns out that's not the case, so I'm doing my best to keep going here, stay focused. But anyway, I think we'll be okay. So this is just going to be, because it's so since this is like a bigger opening, it's going to be a little bit different of a design, and I am going to leave part of it open. So first off, we're going to do just the same as we did on the other one, which is just put a gold block, or gold ore block, like underneath all the cobblestone. So that'll be an easy start. Then we'll put our light blue glazed terracotta underneath that. Okay, so that took a lot more time for me to figure out than I really wanted it to, but anyway, got it in there. And so since this is on the corner, we're gonna do this part here just a little bit different. We're gonna use deep slate walls there as opposed to just like solid blocks, because it'll just kind of make it come together a little bit nicer. I went ahead and I left my dirt in just because we can use it probably to help out with the light gray when we get up to that. I don't really need those though. So we're gonna do yeah, four walls coming down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the end of that one we're gonna put a lantern. And then on the bottom of the rest of these, we're just going to use our solid block of cobbled deep slate. Okay, so now it's time to finish off with our gray glazed terracotta. And of course I gotta play with the pattern on this for a minute. Yeah, I think that'll work there. And then on the bottom of those, when we get those in, we're going to put lanterns on the bottom of that set. Alright, so got that part all in now too, and the last thing that we need to do is just remove these since this part is gonna actually stay open. So we are all good with that. So just a little bit of a change up in the pattern there as for putting the cobbled deep slate underneath the light blue. And the only reason I did that is because of this connecting corner here, where I kind of needed to use a wall. And since we can't use, you know, terracotta walls because they don't exist, I just had to do that to make that corner look, you know, a lot nicer. But I think it's like okay. It kind of doesn't have like the same flow as far as the way that the grays flow together, but I think it's okay because I mean, because that's on the corner and it's going to be open here, and that is fine by me. So I think what I'm going to do is take a whole lot of time and get the rest of this going around, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. So oh great, it's raining. Fantastic. Love working in the rain. I hope it starts lightning too. That'll be great. No, it's fine. Everything's gonna be great. Alright, so I was able to get the rest of it done. Everything except for this third side. The third side where we have our trees. So I get over here. Well, I decided that I wanted to leave this open because I like being able to, when I'm running around inside the city, to look up here and see what time of day it is, as opposed to always checking my clock all the time. It's just really easy, and plus, I don't know, the trees are here. Trees like sunshine, right? So instead of filling all of that in, we're just gonna go ahead and decorate. Just put one gold block on the end of our cobble and call that a day. Oh, and then we get an eagle-eye view of a golem working in the iron farm doing its job. Poor guy. Alright, so got all of those in. And then there's one more just simple modification that I would like to do before we head out and take a look at this from afar. And this is a modification, just a little simple thing for tier 1 actually. I'm not sure that I'll keep this forever, but I think it looks nice like right now. So what I need to do is to find out where our stripes are coming up. Yeah, right here. So right in the middle here, we're going to take out these guys. And we're just going to do a little simple. We're going to put a snow block there. And then 1, 2, and then 3. And so I'm going to find all the rest of those little stripes on the outside. So it's only the ones with the gold stripe in them that we are going to be changing. So I will get onto that. And then we'll really go out and take a look. Okay, so I got everything done, everything completed, and I'm standing outside so we can take a look at it. I know it doesn't make like a huge difference, but it does make it look a little bit more complete. You know, as long as you just ignore my darkroom spawner at the top there. But I do like the way that it looks. Like I said, definitely completed looking without all of those, you know, big distracting holes in the sides. So very happy. And from a distance you can kind of see more so what I was going for with the gradients is using that the gray terracotta. Like you can't really even see too much of the detail on it, but it gives it kind of like a nice sort of shadow going down from that pointy guy. And adding this little bit here, I'm still not sure how I feel about that. So I mean, running around the side, it's not supposed to be like totally attention napping. So I think it's okay for now. I probably will kind of play around with that maybe a little bit more. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, I think it's fine, you know, and especially when you're down lower here, I think it does look better as opposed to it just being, you know, straight across. So I kind of, yeah, I'm kind of digging it. So I think that is the last modification to the outside of the build that I am going to be doing for quite a while. And it does make me feel quite happy to get all of that done and sorted. And I do think that it does make it look a whole lot better. And I'm super happy with it at this point. Who knows, as time goes on, there might be other things that I see that just kind of start bugging me. And then I say, I'd like to kind of fix that and make that one better. But anyway, for now, I'm going to wrap things up. And I just want to thank you guys for stopping by, and thanks for hanging out with me. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.